Mutwe, Director Finance.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of this committee. Good afternoon, the permanent witnesses. I'm Jones Siangandu, Director Engineering Services at Mongo Municipal Council.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee. Good afternoon, permanent witnesses. I'm Marika Francis, Acting Chief Internal Auditor for Mongo Municipal Council.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members. Good afternoon, our permanent witnesses. My name is Amwinga Akufuna, Procurement Officer.
Where is the fifth person? Oh, okay. I was counting those on the sides and leaving the one that I'm directly facing. Thank you so much. Honorable members.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and good afternoon, Honorable colleagues. I want also to congratulate Mongo for having successfully held the Komboka and all the success that they made from that Komboka. Congratulations. My name is Elliot Kamondo, Member of Parliament for Mufumbo constituency in Northwestern Province. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mongo Town Council, and welcome to your committee. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency, Petoke District of Eastern Province. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone, including our colleagues from Mongo. This is Luhamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency in Western Province. Thank you.
Chair, thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. Mongo Town Council, Mongo Municipal Council, welcome to Mandev constituency, even if you didn't invite us to the Komboka. So me, I will not congratulate you. You can get your congratulations from Honorable Kamondo. My name is Christopher Shagafuso. I'm a member of the committee and member of Parliament for Mandev. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. And Singombe Edgar sitting in for Honorable Mulonda. Honorable Shakafuso is jealous of what happened. He feels his friends are diminishing. Yeah, so Town Clerk, may I quickly cover you with immunities derived from Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, which states that whatever you're going to say here shall not be brought before any courts of law. But in an event that you mislead this committee, definitely the same Cap 12 will be brought back into play. This is not to scare you, but it's just to give you the platform that while deliberating with this committee, we are on the same playing field. No need to look around your shoulders as to who is listening, because no one will brought any case against you. Having said that, I'll quickly invite you to your submission, and after that, members of Parliament will ask questions of clarifications if there will be any.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me, Chair, before I make my presentation, just to do some inclusions. On page 58, Chair, the attachment document is not clear. A duplicate, we have a clear copy we can submit. Similarly, on Appendix 5, there's also the minutes which were not included, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, you may proceed.
Chair, on specific audit queries, operational matters, cause of the query, the council did not have resources to service the plots. The cost of hiring earth-moving equipment was too high. The action taken, the council has since procured earth-moving equipment through Constitution Development Fund, and therefore the council is expected to commence the opening up of the roads in Kasima this year. This is supported by our Appendix 1. Remedial action, the council will ensure that only land which has been fully serviced will be offered to plot applicants who apply for land will also apply for land development funds in the future. On the management of markets, the cause of the query, the council could not maintain the house because it is old and the integrity of the structure was compromised to the extent that it could not be rehabilitated, and further it was not fit for human habitation as certified by our health inspectors. The action that we took is that the staff house was inspected by a combined team of health inspectors and engineers, and they certified that the staff house is not fit for human habitation, and hence it was recommended for demolition, and these reports are contained in Appendix 2 of the report. The remedial action we wish to report that the council will demolish the existing structure and consider constructing a new staff house once funds are made available. The ablution blocks, Sefura, Namsheke markets and main bus station. The cause of the query was that the ablution blocks were not maintained due to financial challenges the council was facing. The action taken, management wishes to state that the ablution blocks at Imwiko and Namsheke markets have since been maintained. Further, the council, through its cooperating partners, Western Water and Sanitation Company, constructed a modern ablution block at Sefura Market, and this is evidenced in Appendix 3. Our remedial measure, management will ensure that ablution blocks are kept clean and maintained at all times. On the procurement of goods and services, questionable drawing, the cause of the query, at the time of the audit, the supporting documents for the issuance of oils and lubricants were not availed to the auditors. This was an omission due to the work overload because of inadequate stores officers. Currently, Mongo Municipal Council has only one stores officer. The action taken, management wishes to state that updated fuel ledgers and fuel statements showing vehicle registration numbers and coupon numbers are availed for verification. Further, the council, in the interim, has trained an officer to help stores to help the stores officer. This is supported by Appendix 4, and the remedial measure is that the council ensure that all the supporting documents are availed to the auditors. The council in future will request for a stores controller from the Local Government Service Commission if the resources permit. On Part B, with a correction, Chair, it is supposed to read cross-cutting audit findings. On local taxes, the cause of the query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the negative variance of 2,824,737 was as a result of the low response from ratepayers who complained of the higher rate levy approved by the Rate Valuation Tribunal. The action taken, the council under minute number resolved under minute number FVCU 040123 to give an amnesty of 50% to ratepayers who were going to pay 50% of their total outstanding bills. Further, the council engaged court bailiffs to recover the monies from those who did not respond to the amnesty or signed time pay agreements with the council. Remedial measure, the council under minute number MMC 340424 resolved to recommend the reduction of 30% to the Rating Valuation Tribunal in order to increase compliance levels. On fees and charges, cause of the query, management has noted the auditor's observation and wishes to state that an adverse variance of 6,305,835 was as a result of a failure to pay plot premium within the agreed period time by the plot applicants. Action taken, management repossessed the plots which were not paid for and re-advertised them to the general public. Management wishes to submit that an amount totaling 1.128067 Ngwe has been collected. This is supported by Appendix 6. The remedial measure is that management will ensure plots are offered to serious developers and with the capacity to develop, and also will consider first come, first served basis mode of land disposal in the future. On the permits, the case of the quarry, management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to indicate that the variance was a result of a ban of livestock movement due to an outbreak of anthrax disease which affected the revenue collection from transportation of livestock movement permits. The action taken, management regrets that the budget was not adjusted following the outbreak of the foot and mouth diseases. This is supported by Appendix 7. Our remedial measure is that management will in the future ensure that budget is adjusted whenever there are external factors affecting the collection of revenue. On Constitutional Development Fund, the cause of the query.
Yes, that one I think you can skip it.
Thank you. It's up to.
And the grants also, other grants.
Up to. Other receipts on page 10. Cause of the query. Management wished to state that the council received funds from Electoral Commission of Zambia amounting for 6,609,744 for the mayoral by-election. Action taken, management wishes to regret that the budget was also not revised to cater for the excess income. Remedial action, we are stating that management will ensure that in the future supplementary budgets are prepared in order to properly account for excess income. Failure to collect revenue, property rates, cause of the query, management wishes to state that the failure to collect revenue from property rates was attributed to the following reason. Low compliance. There was low compliance from ratepayers who have been complaining of the high rate of levy, poundage, in brackets poundage, approved by the Rating Valuation Tribunal in 2019. On government properties, the property rates amounting to 9,365,155,025 Ngwe is for the government properties which remained outstanding as at 31st December 2022. Section 7 of the Rating Act, number 21 of 20, states that the minister may make a grant to the revenues of rating authority in lieu of and equivalent to rates which the government would have paid. In this case, the council only received a grant in lieu of rates amounting to only 250,000 in the year 2022, instead of the total outstanding amount of 9,365,155,025 as of December 2022. Action taken, management wishes to state that the total amount of 1,521,258.13 was collected. Further, the council has adjusted the property rates arrears for government properties because payment of grant in lieu of rates is discretional and unforeseeable and unenforceable. The table below shows the property rates collected and the adjustments that were made. The remedial action measure, in order to increase compliance, management will continue engaging stakeholders with regard to the complaints received from the ratepayers concerning the higher rate levy or poundage. The council under minute number MMC 340424 proposed a 30% reduction to the Rating Valuation Tribunal, which is expected to sit sometime in July 2024. The council will continue with the execution of warrant of distress against the property rates defaulters. Further, the Council, through the Local Government Association of Zambia, will propose the amendment of Section 7 of the Rating Act number 21 of 2018 to make it mandatory for the Minister to disburse grant in lieu of rates equivalent to the properties for government properties, property rates for government properties. On billboards, Chair, cause of the query, management wishes to state that the failure to collect billboard fees and charges was due to the delayed remittance of funds by the billboard owners. The action taken, management wishes to state that the total outstanding amount of 42,969.46 ngwe for billboards has been collected, and this is supported by Appendix A. On rentals, cause of the query, management wishes to state that the failure to collect rentals from council shops was as a result of tenants defaulting and delayed response from the tenants after issuance of enforcement notice. We had skipped action taken. We are reporting, Chair, that on action taken, amounts totaling 100,800 has since been collected, and the defaulters have since been evicted. This is supported by Appendix 9. The remedial measure which was also made is that management will ensure that rentals are paid in advance as opposed to charging them on a monthly basis. On expenditure, on unspent funds, the unspent funds was due to the late disbursement of CDF grants, which was received in December 2022. In addition, the Council had unspent funds in capital projects accounts, which was committed for the installation of crossing points in Narikwanda constituency. The action taken is management wishes to state that the amounts totaling to 44,040,148 under CDF amounts have been spent, leaving a balance of 3,439,673.67, which is attributed to the retention monies for these projects. Further, the total amount of 4,911,157.69 has been spent towards the installation of crossing points, leaving a balance of 3,088,842.31, which is also attributed to retention and projects which are still work in progress. This is supported by the table below. Failure to control and manage markets. Cause of the query, the 5 markets are not in the council areas, and as a result are run and controlled, Chair, by the traditional authorities. We replace that by traditional authorities, not BRI, and not by the council. The action taken is that management wishes to state that the 5 markets are controlled and managed by the traditional leadership through the establishment. Remedial action measure, the council engage the central government through the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development with regard to the taking over of the markets currently managed by the traditional authorities. Failure to inscribe assets. The cause of the query, the council did not have census, and as a result, ordinary markers to inscribe assets which became fade over time were used. Action taken, the council has since engaged Department of Office Equipment under the Ministry of Works and Supply to inscribe the assets using the standard inscription equipment. This is supported under Appendix 10. The remedial measure, management will ensure that all newly procured assets are inscribed before being issued to the end users. Employees without requisite qualification. The cause of the query, the Local Government Service Commission appointed an officer to the position of Group Internal Auditor without minimum requisite qualifications. Human Resource Committee of Mongu Municipal Council has recommended for redesignation or regrading of the officer from Group Internal Auditor to Assistant Accountant, LGSS 10. Further, management requested the Local Government Service Commission to send a Chief Internal Auditor. The Local Government Service has since sent a Chief Internal Auditor to Mongo Municipal Council. Apart from Appendix 11 Chair, he's the one seated next to me here. Remedial measure, management wishes to state that it will continue to engage the Local Government Service Commission on matters of such nature, it being the employer. Failure to repair fire tenders. The cause of the query, the council could not repair the fire tender because the assessment done by the Zambia State Insurance revealed that it was a write-off after it was involved in a road accident. The action taken is that the council has since written a report to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, and the engagements between the ministry and the insurance companies have since been done, and this is supported by our Appendix 12. The remedial measure, the council will continue to engage the ministry for the replacement of the fire tender. Failure to maintain council properties.
That one is done. That
This was
no, that one was
done. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So we go to.
So failure to control street
28.
vending.
Yeah.
Yes. Management response, cause of the query. Management wishes to state that this was as a result of the council allowing traders to operate on a designated street from 18 hours to 20 hours, and also due to inadequate market trading spaces. The action that we have taken is that management undertook a market stand inventory in all the council markets and has since allocated available stands to traders who were on the streets. Further, an exercise to remove street vendors was conducted in the Central Business District and other areas. See Appendix 13. The remedial measures that management to enhance enforcement and ensure that all street vendors operate in designated markets. Failure to settle outstanding statutory obligations. Cause of the query, the council has inadequate funds to meet its gross total wage bill as they fall due. Action taken. Management wishes to report that amounts totaling to 426,933 Fortingway was paid towards statutory creditors. In addition, the council has submitted a proposal to NAPSA to be paying 20,000 monthly towards the arrears whilst meeting the current contributions when they fall due. Management entered into a payment plan with LASIF where the current and arrear pension contributions are deducted at source. Besides that, management has written to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development for a possible bailout since the outstanding debt is beyond the capacity of Mongo Municipal Council. The remedial measure, the council will continue to engage the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development on a possible bailout. Further, the council has updated its valuation law under the provision of valuation law has since been handed over to the council by the appointed valuation surveyors. The council will operationalize also the tracking bay and ensure that effective implementation of valuation law is once approved. Besides, management has slowly been liquidating its liabilities and is in the process of signing the time to pay agreements with the statutory bodies. Misapplication of funds. Management wishes to state that the query arose due to the liquidity challenges the council encountered at that time. However, on action taken, management wishes to report that the amount misapplied on non-fire related activities has since been reimbursed as per Appendix 15. Remedial measure, management to ensure strict adherence to the guidelines issued from time to time by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and any other superior bodies. In conclusion, I wish to assure the committee that the remedial measures that have been submitted to the committee will be implemented and reviewed for future improvement. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Mwene.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I'd like to lead the CS to page 20, the same page that is just from reading. Misapplication of funds. Chair say, these funds that you got, you just were able to reimburse on 20th of February. Okay? Why did you take too long to reimburse this money? From 2022, you are reimbursing this money in 2024. Why did you take too long? You only thought of reimbursing this money when you were cited to come for this meeting, this committee. When you were told you are coming to appear before your committee, that's when you thought of reimbursing this man. Perhaps implying that actually, if you were not summoned to come here, you wouldn't have paid back. Why did you take this long to reimburse this man? I submit, Chair.
Yes.
Chair, I wish to state that Mongo Municipal Council is facing a lot of financial challenges, and that is the reason why it took so long for us to even find money. We're even struggling to meet other obligations I've mentioned in the various reports that I've read here. So it was just out of the financial challenges, Chair.
Follow up.
Follow up, yes, Chair. Maybe before anything, what are your major sources of income as a municipal council? I submit, Chair.
Our major sources of income are supposed to be two: property rates and I think fees and charges. As I stated, property rates have outlined the difficulties that we have had in collecting those property rates, and also the fees and charges. So the major source in principle is property rates and fees and charges.
CS, on the property rates, you're saying that people are difficult to pay. Don't you think this is emanating from the local authority or by yourselves failing to provide goods and services? Because if you are collecting rates from the people, then they must see the equivalent of the money that you are collecting from them. Don't you think the reluctance by property owners is as a result of probably you people collecting monies for your salaries instead of collecting monies for goods and services? You want to add something?
Yes, on top of that, Chair, look at the outstanding statutory obligations. It's about 11,393,000 and so on. Since you are already lamenting on challenges of generating income as a municipal council that we rely on in Western Province, Chair, how then, as a council, do you think you are going to finish off paying this 11 million outstanding statutory obligations? I submit, Chair.
CS?
Chair, first and foremost, I want to mention and emphasize that the low compliance levels of payment of property tax is not as a result of SAFE's provision. This is a historical issue. The valuation law that we have been using was approved in 2016. And when it was approved in 2016, people were complaining that the process by which they were supposed to agree to the values that were inserted in their properties and as well as the poundage, they were not properly consulted. So we have been enforcing a valuation law which has been rejected from the inception. And that's why we have gone to the extent of even doing the remittances, going to the council, even to request the council resolution that we could even ask a remission up to 50%. So it is an issue which is emanating from the fact that that law was not complied with by the people. On the issue of the outstanding bill, as I've said, this is a historical bill that is ranging from, I don't know, as far back as maybe 2015, 2019, accumulated to this amount. And that is why in our remedial measure, we have been engaging and we have written to the ministry and we have provided to them that, one, it is historical and we cannot manage it. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Shakafuso.
Thank you, Chair. Town Clerk, you are saying that your problems do not emanate from service delivery. I note on page 4, 5, and 6 that some ablution blocks at 3 markets and at the main bus station were not operational until the external auditors came. Do you offer free sanitation facilities at these markets, or you charge for these facilities?
Chair, we charge a minimal fee of 1 kwacha, and these cannot even meet the cost of running them, because as we are aware, Chair, provision of market services is first of all a service, even to the extent of where we would like to make them to have a cost recovery. It's an issue. Since it's our obligation, we have to offer it even if we cannot run it at a cost recovery rate. So that is the challenge. Even the compliance levels, even at 1 kwacha, you'll be very surprised that we cannot even collect 100% of that. I submit, Chair.
Follow-up?
My follow-up, Chair, is that even me, if I was operating at a market run by the council, which does not have toilets, I wouldn't want to pay the council any levies. I'm taking you here, I've brought you here at the markets as an example, because you're not providing the services. You want to collect levies from people because they operate within the market, yet you have a mandate to provide sanitation services, which you are not doing. Running of an ablution block is a complementary to the other services that a market provides. You are defaulting to collect your own locally generated revenue because you are not on top of service delivery. Town Clerk, people are defaulting to pay the 1 kwachas because the toilets are not operational. It had to take Auditor General to ask you to say these 4 toilets are not working, and this is where you've done something, and yet you are lamenting that people are defaulting because the reason why people are defaulting is that is not related to service delivery. And I'm just trying to tell you that you are a municipal council and a provincial capital. You are supposed to be an example in that region in terms of raising locally generated funds. My question is, why did it take the external auditors for you to maintain these facilities that are found at the markets and bus stations that you run?
Chair, the provision of sanitation services currently in Mongu, there is a project under Western Water. That's why in other response, I mentioned that those ablution blocks were done by Western Water. The compliance, even as we are talking about, there are brand new ablution blocks and the toilets that are being provided, but still people are not paying. So we are providing the sanitation, even improved ones, because because of the project. So that is what I can offer in response. It is true that, as I've mentioned, the financial challenges. It is true that we cannot, and maybe we are not providing 100% of the sanitation, Honorable. I do accept that, but it is not the main reason why we have got the compliance. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Kamondo.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I didn't want to ask this question, but I feel like asking. It's part A, specific audit findings. On page 2, operational matters. Item number 1, weakness in issuance of plots, failure to service plots. Through you, this query, according to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, circular number 1 of 1985, which requires plots to be surveyed, beaconed, numbered, and lots created before advertising them to the public offering. Now, this council, Mungu Council, contrary to the provision, in 2021, the council offered 262 plots to members of public in Kasima area of Mongo without providing access roads. According to them, they are saying the council did not have resources to service the plots. The cost of hiring earth-moving equipment was too high, as their response. Now my question is, why did you decide, first of all, to go into this venture when you knew very well that it was going to be very difficult, if anything, impossible, for you to provide the roads, even when you knew that according to the Minister of Lands, with this circular number, you are not supposed to do, and you went ahead? Why did you decide to do that, even when you knew that you didn't have access to the earth-moving equipment, but you decided to? Why did you decide to do that?
Thank you. CS, you may also combine the issue on page 4. When are you demolishing that ugly structure, inhabitable house? Because you have indicated it's not worthy code. So why should you let it continue standing? You may not have resources to build, but at least you can clean the place by demolishing it. On the same, Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Just on the same failure to service the plots, what plans do you have to service the same plots in terms of water supply and sanitation services, as well as electricity provision? Because what I've seen is you are preparing yourself just to create access roads to these 262 plots. Thank you.
You may respond, Town Clerk.
Yes, Chair. What we have been doing is that, in view of the initial costs that would be required when you open a new area to provide all the services as per circular, what we have been doing is that when we have these plots, our intention is that when we offer them to people and we collect the money, then we use that money to service the plot. That has been the practice, because it is beyond the capacity of the council that you fully service the land with all the necessary services, including water, electricity, roads, and so forth. So that is what we've been doing in practice, and that is in short what I can give for the response. On the issue of when are we going to demolish, yes, we wanted to follow the procedures, and maybe I can ask my Director of Engineering Services to respond on that. On the plans for, after I answer the one for the plans for the other, what plans do we have for servicing the other land? In our response, we have opted that for this time, we need to make an application for the Land Development Fund, so that if we can get a full package, then we'll use that to save the land, so that in future we can only offer the plots that have been fully serviced.
Honorable Kamondo? Oh, okay, he has to respond. Okay.
Thank you, Chair. On the demolition of this agri structure, Chair, we wish to inform the committee that immediately we get back to Mongo, we are going to move in to demolish this structure, as we have the equipment now to be used to demolish such structures. I submit, Chair.
When did you receive the equipment?
We received the equipment about a month ago, and it was just commissioned on Friday last week.
Honorable Kamondo?
And I want to say that I was not satisfied with the answer that was given by the CS, and he has decided to go into another route. Now,
town clerk?
Oh, I mean town clerk, yes. Sorry, I'm not trying to demean. We are used, I'm coming from Mufumbo, where we have that. They are not the same, yes. So, town clerk. I think that's a good name. I wish actually Mufumbo also should grow to that. Now, town clerk, you have, in your verbal submission, you have said that your views were that once actually you come up with these plots, the people would pay. And after they've paid, from the monies that they've paid, that is where they are going to get other services. That is what I understand. But these plots were issued. The people paid the money. But they couldn't use the same money to have the roads done. But they're telling us that no, the hiring of the grader or whatever was too expensive. Didn't they know that? And if they didn't know, what is the way forward? When are they going to start? Because it was their problem. They didn't follow the regulations. They went ahead to give the land to the people and also collected money. According to them, that money should have serviced those areas. When are they going to have these areas serviced?
So, town clerk, this is like the same question that or concern that I gave. You collect money from the people and you don't plow back. So here's a very typical scenario of you offering plots, the developers pay, and then you don't go to develop. Anyway, the question is coming from Honorable Kamondo. I had just to emphasize.
Thank you, Chair. This approach is supposed to work in such a manner that when you offer, people pay and there is compliance and you collect enough money to service the plots. In our submission, we said that a lot of people did not pay. And that's why in my report, there's a component where we repossessed the plots, re-advertised, and we have collected so much money, which we are going to use now with the availability of the equipment to service. That approach, yes, the few that may have paid, they are right to say we have paid, but we have not serviced the plot. But it is supposed to be a complete package. It's a lesson we have learned that in future, I think we should take the approach, because we have no obligation not to service. Even if one pays, you say, please service the plot, and yet our intention would be that a good number pays, then we collect so much money, then you move in. I submit, Chair.
I hope it's not a situation of you getting money from D. When he comes, you go to C, you pay D. When C comes, you go to B, you collect C.
Not that, Chair. Thank you.
Maybe this will be our last intervention from Honorable Shakafuso.
So, after the repossession, how many plots have you sold and how much have you raised?
There's a figure. We raised 1 million. I even mentioned the figure. So 1 point.
Yeah, you can assist if you have the. Yeah, you can go ahead and respond.
Thank you, Chair. The total amount collected is 1,128,000. On the actual number of plots, I can't tell now unless I verify. I don't want to mislead the committee. Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Ask that question because we want as a committee to be satisfied that indeed after the repossession, people have really paid. So if we would love to check how many plots are still available to the general public. Because earlier, just like the chairman has said, and the town clerk is still refusing that people are not paying because of lack of service provision. But even this is speaking to the same. Hence the audit query, because you went round and you did not provide the service delivery as it's supposed to be. I submit, Chair.
Anyway, as a chairperson, I can take advantage to ask you one extra question. On the failure to, remember on the issue of markets, you talked of other markets being under traditional leadership. I want to find out, is there anything that the traditional leadership are doing in improving those markets? And what are you doing as a local authority to show the traditional leadership that actually by law the council is mandated to be in charge of these local authorities? Is it that maybe you are failing to provide the goods and services, that's why they don't see the need for them to surrender these markets to the local authority? Maybe under a minute you may respond to my question, Town Clerk.
I can confirm that the traditional leadership is not doing anything on these markets. The council, these markets are sitting on traditional land. And just by that arrangement, it becomes difficult for us to convince them that we should take over them. But we have engaged them, and there are two tools of engagements that we have used. We have assured them that if we enter into an arrangement where we run them and give them a commission, we will proceed that. And to demonstrate that we have built one market in the traditional land, and we handed it over. And secondly, in 2024 budget, we are building another one. And we are using that as a negotiating process. And our negotiations are very advanced, and we hope that will move forward.
CS, thank you very much for appearing before your committee. All the questions which were posed to you were to ensure that you are on the ground in terms of providing goods and services to the people. Please ensure that the questions are there to assist you. And as you go back to Mongu, go and sit down and reflect on a number of questions that members of parliament raised to your local authority. It is our desired view that Mongu provides adequate service and goods to the people of Mongu. You, as you are seated there, all of you are transferable. Wouldn't you wish, CS, that before you leave Mongu, it is upgraded into a city? I think it is your desire. and it's a desire of the committee that we should not go to these local authorities just to go and do, or just to have an opportunity to go and work, but it should be an opportunity to also ensure that we leave proper goods and services. It should not be like it's just employment. No. On the other hand, yes, it is employment, but on the other hand, it's also to better the livelihood of the people that you've been mandated to preside over. I now remove the image that were conferred to you and wishing you God's traveling mercies as you go to Mongo. Thank you so much.